Right behind me is the Thames River as I've traveled all the way to London to cover Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked 2026, and it feels quite a bit different because Samsung is launching not one but two book-styled foldables this year, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra and the Galaxy Z Fold 8 alongside the Galaxy Z Flip 8. Now, I've spent a few hours with all the three devices and there's plenty to talk about along with the watches and the smart glasses as well. So, without any further ado, hello everyone, Aman here for Digit, and now let's get started. Let's begin with the phone that surprised me the most, the Galaxy Z Fold 8. Sure, flagship cameras, powerful processors and premium hardware are expected at this price point, but smartphone design, especially in the foldable segment, has become incredibly predictable over the past few years. The Fold 8 changes that. Samsung has moved to a much wider cover display, making the phone feel dramatically different when closed. It instantly reminded me of the old BlackBerry Passport, not because they look alike, but because both have an unusual form factor that completely changes how you interact with them. And surprisingly, it works. Typing feels more natural, browsing feels better, watching short videos is more enjoyable. Then you unfold it and you get a large 4:3 display that's designed around reading, gaming and consuming content. It actually feels like Samsung has finally nailed the fundamentals of what a modern book-style foldable should be. Plus, the hardware is equally impressive. Despite weighing just 201 grams, making it Samsung's lightest fold yet, it still packs the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy processor alongside a larger 4800 mAh battery. Samsung has also introduced its new Flex Titanium technology, which is designed to make the display structure thinner, improve durability and reduce crease visibility over time. But all these are things we'll only be able to judge properly during the full review. But first impressions are certainly encouraging. And finally, the cameras. You get dual 50 megapixel lenses, this dual recording that lets both the creator and subject see themselves while filming, and a new My Fan Cam feature that automatically tracks the subject and reframes footage for social media. Now let's talk about the real flagship, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra. So if you have been waiting for Samsung to throw everything it has into a foldable, this is probably the closest we have seen. The first thing you noticed is just how incredibly thin it feels. At only 4.1 millimeters when unfolded, it is Samsung's slimmest fold ever. More importantly though, it doesn't feel like Samsung has sacrificed practicality just to chase numbers. In fact, quite the opposite. Despite becoming thinner, Samsung has managed to fit a significantly larger 5000 mAh battery inside while keeping the weight at 215 grams, similar to last year's Fold 7. And that's because the Fold 8 Ultra becomes Samsung's first phone to use a silicon carbon battery, a technology we have seen other brands adopt over the past year or two, and now Samsung has finally brought it to the flagship foldable. The higher energy density allows for a larger battery without increasing the thickness of the device. On top of that, Samsung has also upgraded the charging to 45 watt wired, and there's also 20 watt wireless charging. The display also receives meaningful improvements. Peak brightness now reaches up to 3000 nits, and Samsung has finally added its anti-reflective coating to the inner display, something we've already appreciated on the Galaxy S Ultra series. It doesn't completely remove reflections, but it definitely makes the screen easier to view under harsh lighting. Then there are the cameras. The 200 megapixel main sensor returns, but Samsung has upgraded the ultra-wide camera to a much more capable 50 megapixel sensor. Samsung claims nightography has been improved. 8K video recording now supports the new APV codec, and CineLut allows creators to achieve more cinematic color straight from the phone. Of course, we'll reserve final judgment on the cameras until we have spent more time testing them, but on paper, this is easily Samsung's most capable foldable camera system yet. Finally, the third member of the family is the Galaxy Z Flip 8. Samsung says it is the slimmest and lightest flip it has ever made. The biggest change comes from the redesigned FlexWindow, which now acts as an AI-first interface. You can access apps, personalized information, and Gemini-powered features directly from the cover display without constantly opening the phone. The Flip 8 also continues Samsung's focus on content creation with Flex Mode, improved selfies, a 50-megapixel main camera, and several software features that make shooting from unusual angles much easier. It is clearly designed for people who prioritize portability and social content. Also, across the entire lineup, Galaxy AI has become much more deeply integrated. Features like Now Nudge, Fan Cam, and Gemini Intelligence are designed to work more proactively, surfacing useful information, helping complete actions across multiple apps, and making multitasking feel much more seamless on these larger foldable displays. Samsung has also announced two new smartwatches, the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 and the Galaxy Watch 9. Both are thinner and lighter than before, while the Watch Ultra 2 now packs a huge 800 mAh battery alongside a display that Samsung claims can reach an incredible 5000 nits of peak brightness. And finally, Samsung also gave us a first look at its upcoming smart glasses developed in partnership with Google. These are still prototypes, so there's very little we can say about them today, but they certainly look far sleeker than many of the other smart glasses currently available. It is definitely a product we'll be keeping a close eye on when it officially launches. And those were my first impressions of the Samsung Galaxy Unpacked 2026. Now, personally, I'm most excited to test out the Galaxy Z Fold 8 in detail because of that fresh new form factor. But of course, if you want the absolute best foldable experience, you have to go for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra. Now, we will be testing these devices in detail on Digit. So if you don't want to miss that content, you should subscribe to our channel right now. And for all the latest in technology, stay tuned to Digit. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.